Hey everybody, Baby Bear here, and we are in Jaybird's parents' backyard in Mayaca City, Florida currently, and we took a walk around the property just to see what kind of wild edibles we could find, see if any mushrooms popped up after last night. The grass was super dewy, and actually last night we came across these mushrooms here, and these are called ringless honey mushrooms, and they grow all over Florida. In fact, honey mushrooms grow all over North America. The ones that grow down in the south primarily are this variety, ringless honey mushrooms. They've curled up a little bit now that it's gotten kind of hot and dry outside, but last night when the grass was real wet, they were in better condition. These mushrooms grow primarily on root wood. They don't grow on stumps or anything like that. They really only grow on wood that is a rotted piece of root, primarily from oak trees. There's oak all over here, all over this property, so that's likely what these came from. These mushrooms are considered parasitic, and they can actually parasitize a living tree, usually oak trees or small shrubs, hemlocks, junipers, things like that, cedar trees, eastern cedar trees in Florida, and they can actually kill the tree over time. These mushrooms are considered a choice edible mushroom, although you have to cook them really thoroughly because they can upset your stomach, upset your digestive system if you don't cook them really thoroughly. Typically, you only want to eat the caps. The gills are, the stems are really woody and tough. Sometimes the stems are dried and used just for flavoring, but really it's the cap that is considered the choice edible portion of the mushroom. These are not this mushroom here is not the kind of mushroom that you really want to forage if you're a beginner. There are some lookalikes. Some of the lookalikes can make you sick, and some of the lookalikes are actually deadly. What you'll notice is the gills are considered decurrent, which means they start to run down the very beginning of the stem. They don't really run too far down this stem on this particular mushroom. But if you're trying to identify these mushrooms, there are a few lookalikes. One of the ones that I can remember is considered a lookalike of this mushroom is a jack-o'-lantern. Really, if you've seen a jack-o'-lantern in the wild, you can tell the difference pretty much right away. They don't look like identical, but there are some others that are very, very toxic, and so you really don't want to forage this mushroom unless you're 100% certain that it is a ringless honey mushroom. One of the ways that you can identify this mushroom with certainty is its spore print. If you've gone through kind of like a dichotomous key and figured out, that it matches up with all of the other features that the ringless honey mushroom should have, the final way to identify this with certainty is by taking a spore print. And the spore print of this mushroom should be pure white or just very, very slightly off-white. All the other toxic mushrooms that are considered lookalikes to the ringless honey mushroom do not have a light-colored spore print. So that's kind of a fail-safe way to tell that it is, in fact, a honey mushroom. So it's pretty cool to see that these are just growing in clusters in this garden bed here. They kind of popped up, like I said last night, when the grass was real dewy. And yeah, considered a choice edible here in the south. If you are going to eat, to forage and eat these mushrooms, always, always, always make sure that it is in fact a ringless honey. And then after you collect some of them, just cook up a few of them really thoroughly. Don't cook up a whole bunch of them. Just try a small sample, just to make sure that it doesn't upset your stomach, because some people have claimed that it can cause them to have an upset stomach. So yeah, there you have it. Ringless honey mushrooms right here in the backyard, 10 feet away from the house. And there's quite a few of them, so you could have a nice little bounty of them. So, see you next time.